Bismillah.
I think it involves focusing on
صح.
ideas.
Okay, ideas, okay, that's nice enough, but like in a broader sense, what does that mean?
I mean,
Okay,
uh,
skimming to give you an idea.
text
Skimming,
from
okay, so if I give
like
you a text, if
an
I give you,
idea from a text.
yeah, okay, then skimming is trying to get the gist of an article. So, for instance,
Um,
if we're reading a newspaper, for instance, newspapers, they tend to have a
yeah,
headline. What do they have? They have a headline, they have a small subheading, and they have a picture, correct? So
yeah,
when you look at a normal newspaper, you'll see the headline, you'll see the main picture, and then you're going to see the subheading for the main article. And just by looking at that, just by quickly looking at that, you should be
yeah,
able to tell me broadly what that article is talking about. So that's called skimming. That's called skimming. What
yeah.
about scanning?
Is there one scanning a text
Yeah,
and
what
focusing on
is
the
so
details?
okay, imagine I gave you two cups. One cup is has orange juice in it, and the other cup
Huh?
has I said
Okay,
imagine I gave you two cups. One cup has orange juice and the other cup
okay,
has milkshake, and you're blindfolded,
yeah,
and I give
okay.
you a spoon,
Uh-huh.
and then someone gives you a spoonful of the first cup, and then they give you a spoonful of the second cup. Just by doing that little bit of tasting, would you be able to tell me which cup has orange juice and which cup has milkshake? I
Yeah,
Yes or no? I mean, would you be able to tell me if I
yes,
you'd be able to tell me, oh, this one has orange juice and that one has milkshake, even though you're
yeah,
blindfolded, right?
yeah,
So that's an example of skimming. You're just taking a small part of the drink to tell me, generally speaking, what is in that drink or what is in that cup.
oh yeah,
Or when I give you an article and you just quickly read the title, you look at the main picture and you look at the subheading, automatically you can get an idea of what the whole article is talking about, correct?
yeah.
That is skimming. Scanning is a process of reading quickly through the article, looking at the main points, looking at the
Main
main
points.
points, the important points. So this is skimming and that is scanning. Explicit
Yeah.
and implicit meaning. Have you ever heard of explicit and implicit? What do they mean?
Explicit.
Yeah, what is an explicit meaning of a sentence and what is an implicit meaning of a sentence or a paragraph or
I
an
know what explicit is, but I can't express what it means.
okay.
Like, I don't know the meaning towards it.
That's the thing. The meaning of the word is very, very, very important. If you know the meaning of explicit and implicit, it means then you'll be able to work on that topic. For instance, explicit meaning is what is expressly meant. For instance, if I say to you today,
Huh?
I love traveling by train. I love
Yeah.
traveling by train. From that statement, what do you get? What's the explicit meaning of if I say I love traveling by train? What is the explicit meaning?
He loves riding a train.
Yes, I, as a person, prefer traveling by train over everything else. That is the straightforward meaning of what I've just said. So that's the explicit meaning. That's the clear meaning. That's the apparent meaning. So the clear and apparent meaning of what I say is the explicit meaning. But the implicit meaning is what you can understand from what I'm saying, even though I haven't said it with the words coming from my mouth. So if I say, I really like traveling by train, you might, that might imply that I don't like traveling by plane.
Oh,
Do you understand?
yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah, teacher, I do.
Okay, then. So in any statement that I give you, whatever is coming up, whatever like the face value of the statement, the face value of the statement, the clear, the present, the thing that's on the paper, that's the explicit meaning. Another example that I can give you is this.
Hmm.
If I said to you that this shop only serves people that are under 25 years old. So I have a shop, but I only serve customers that are under 25 years old. What's the explicit meaning of that? The explicit meaning is the shop only serves young people, correct?
Yeah.
That's the face value of my statement. That is what appears on the paper. But what doesn't appear on the paper is the implicit meaning.
Why?
Implicit meaning is that I won't serve anyone over 25. So I don't serve older people.
Oh, yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So every time I make a statement, Aisha, this is important. Every time in any language where I make a clear statement, what you will find is from that statement, you will have explicit meaning, the face value of what I'm saying, and implicit meaning, what might be implied from what I've said. Do you understand? Can you give me
Yeah.
an example now?
Yeah.
Give me an example, make a statement, and then tell me, oh, that's the explicit meaning of my statement, and that is the implied meaning of my statement.
Like, he loves being at home.
He loves being at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
what's the explicit meaning of that statement?
he always stays home. Is that
Okay, he likes
right?
staying home. He stays at home. Okay, that's the explicit. What's the implicit meaning of that? What can be implied from that statement? When I hear that, what can I think? What ideas come to my brain? If someone loves staying at home, what kind of ideas can I say about him?
That person's lazy?
Oh, very good. That person's lazy. Fantastic. What other things can I say?
He doesn't like going outside as much.
Yeah, he might be scared of going outside, or he might be
Yeah.
antisocial. So you see what I'm saying? The explicit
Yeah.
is what your ear is hearing. This person has said something, and you're hearing it on your ear, and you're exactly taking in that content, and you're drawing a conclusion. But the implicit,
Yeah.
hearing what this person is saying, and then extrapolating. For instance, when we're doing the graphs, when we're doing graphs in say physics or math, when we're doing the graphs,
Yeah.
sometimes I give you enough data to go up to a certain point. Then I'll say to you, extrapolate from that point onwards, correct? So when you're
Yeah.
extrapolating, what you're doing, you're not using data, you're thinking to yourself, okay, if the graph has this curve, if I continued, it will go up like this, or it will go down like that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, then the explicit is what you have, the real data that you have. The implicit is the extrapolation that you're doing. It's the thinking that you're doing. Okay, if it continues, this is how it's going to be. Okay, then next, point, evidence, and explain. So we're gonna go on to that point. I think right now, have you wrote down the meaning of skimming? What I'd like you to
Oh
do,
yeah.
what I'd like you to do is give me
All
a,
right.
on your textbook today, on your text
Mhm.
or your exercise book, I want you to write
Yeah.
reading skills, text analysis, skimming, and scanning. So give me a definition of skimming, and then give me a definition of scanning.
Okay.
Okay, so write that down now.
Then,
Although Raleigh,
okay.
okay, so look at this part here. Aisha, I
Yeah.
think this part sums it up here. So read these two sections. Okay, so you
Okay.
read that section and that section, and then read that section. Once you've read those three sections, I want you to put down a definition for skimming and a definition for scanning. And once you've done that, give me a heads up.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so because these terms are very important.
So I know the definition of skimming right now.
Okay, no, but what I
I
want
know.
you to do, read the text, read this paragraph, read that paragraph, read this key point here. Once you have read those 3 points, then I want you to come up with your own concise meaning of skimming and your own concise meaning of scanning. Once you've done that, let me know, okay? And I want you to write it down. It has to be 2 to 3 sentences for each one.
Okay. Useful when you want to get a general idea of what a text is about. When you're skimming, you read through the text 3 to 4 times faster than you when you read each word in order to get a sense of the topic, ideas, and the information being conveyed. What should I skim? Okay. Scanning refers to reading through material to find a specific information. When you scan, you run your eyes over the information in a text and pull out specific words, phrases, pieces of information. You might not realize that you scan through different texts every day, from televisions, guides to football results. That's why I scan when I'm looking for specific pieces of information quickly and locating a relevant quotation or section in the literature text. Skimming and scanning are appointed reading techniques. Skimming is reading quickly to get a general sense of a text. Scanning involves looking through a text for specific information. Okay.
Okay, have you written it down? Tell me when you've written it down.
Okay, I'll write the key points right now.
Okay, you write the key points, and then once you do, tell me what you mean.
Okay. But I finished, teacher.
Okay, so tell me what you written down for scanning and tell me what you wrote for skimming.
Oh, wait, let me send a definition first. Wait,
Come
give me a
again, you're
moment,
gonna send
teacher.
it to me?
Wait, no, I write the definition of something. Give me a moment.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Reading.
Ready?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. So go ahead. How did you define skimming?
So skimming I wrote is reading rapidly in order to get a overview of what you're reading. Like let's say a newspaper, an article, a
Okay.
story, whatever.
What about scanning? What is scanning?
It is like reading like rapidly,
Uh-huh.
but you want to find a specific information, like a specific
Okay.
word,
So
a
give
specific
me
something.
so for instance, give me an example in an article where you would be doing some scanning.
Scanning. Like I don't know.
Okay. I mean, look, the thing gives you examples. What kind of examples do you have here? Look at scanning. What kind of examples does he give you?
when I'm looking for a
You may
specific
not look at
piece
the
of
last sentence.
information.
You may not realize, you may not realize that you scan through
Yeah.
different texts every day. Okay. So I'll give you from television
Yeah.
guides to football results. So these are two specific examples that he's given you, but I'll give you another one. Imagine you sent a message or an email to a classmate, and then you said, "Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's your week? Could you kindly tell me the dates for the exam next week?" So the time and dates for the exams next week. And then your friend replies with a long email. Your friend replies with a long email. He goes, "Oh,
Email.
I'm doing very well. I find this topic very hard to revise. I'm reading this book at the moment." And after he goes through a lot of things, he says, "By the way, the exams are going to be on Thursday at 8 a.m., Tuesday at 10 p.m. I mean 10 a.m., on Wednesday at 9 a.m. And what do you call it? Science is going to be on a Friday after lunch." So when you're reading that whole email, what are you scanning for?
The exams.
The exam times,
The
correct?
exams. Yeah.
Exactly. The rest of it has information, and that information might be interesting, but the thing that you need, the important information that you want, is just the times and dates for the exams, correct?
Yeah.
That's a form of Scanning. That's a form of scanning. Okay. Right now, I'm gonna go. We're gonna go to like a newspaper, a general newspaper. We're gonna have a look at a newspaper online, and then you're going to tell me what each topic or what each topic is. I mean, just looking at the, we're not going to read the exact article. Just by looking at the news article, you're going to tell me what the news article is about. Okay. So, Guardian.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Guardian newspaper. I'm going to share that with you.
Okay.
And then you're going to tell me what each headline, each story is about. So, can you see the newspaper?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, then. So, what's the main story about? Just look at the title and the
Israel.
picture.
Okay. So Israel-Hamas war. Israel imposes full siege on Gaza. Qatar confirms Hamas-Israel talks.
Okay, so what's that story about?
What
Quickly.
is Hamas, teacher?
It doesn't matter. Like, what do you think the story is about? You're scanning. I mean, you're skimming the
A
story.
war
So what I
between
want,
Israel,
and
Palestine,
okay, very good. So the first story
or
is a war between Israel and Palestine. Very good. Next, what's this story about? Look, this is the main headline. This is a subheading, and that's the picture. You got 5 seconds. What can you see?
yeah. Where? Okay. Earthquake survivors sleep amid rubble as death toll nears 3,000.
Okay, look
So
at the
an
picture. So
earthquake
what's that?
happened in Afghanistan.
An earthquake that
So an
happened in
earthquake
Afghanistan.
happened.
Very good. Okay. Next
Yeah.
one. Look at this one here. What does this show you?
Air pollution microplastics detected in the clouds hanging atop two Japanese mountains. So they found microplastics in two Japanese mountains. So it's basically air pollution.
Okay. So very good. Air pollution. Look at this story. Tell me, look at the picture, the heading, and what do you think the article? If you went into that article, what would it be talking about? Look at this picture and this heading.
Okay, so Russia and Ukraine war. Zelensky to visit Romania on Tuesday in first trip since Russian invasion.
So what's that about?
So the president is going to another country, so the country of Ukraine.
Okay, very good. Next. Okay, tell me, what does this talk about?
As a country of real? Sorry.
Okay, no. Have fun. I've got the flu today.
Okay.
So what does this say here? What does this talk about? Look at this story. Look at the picture. Look at the heading. What do you think it's about?
So they're doing a protest, I think.
Okay, it's a protest. We'll look at the heading.
If India ordered the killing of a Sikh leader in Canada, the world must act.
What do you think that's about?
So basically, a religion leader, India ordered them to kill that leader.
And where did that guy live?
In Canada.
In Canada. Okay. Okay. So you're getting the gist of it. Okay, let's have a look at the sports section. Look at this picture. Look at the heading, and then tell me the meaning of the article.
So cricket, flag, football, baseball, and softball all set for 2028 LA Olympics.
So what does that mean? What do you think that would mean?
So they're doing an Olympics match in 2028 for cricket and softball, flag football, and baseball.
So all these sports are going to be added to the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an example of scanning. This is an example of scanning.
Yeah.
We didn't go into the article. We didn't go into the article. What did we do? We looked at the heading and the picture and the subheading just to get an idea of what this story is about. Do you get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When you do that, that is called scanning. I mean, that's called skimming. That's called skimming.
Skin.
Okay. Scanning, though, on the other hand, is going to be an example of scanning would be if I clicked on one of these let's just say let's go to this, for instance, article here. Hopefully it'll open up. So this is an article about a historical find. Someone found some old coins in Scotland. Okay. So as you can see from the heading, it says coin hoard that could be linked to Glencoe massacre found under fireplace. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
a coin hoard. What is a hoard? Do you know what a hoard is?
No.
It's a group. A hoard is a group, is another word for group. A group of coins or a bunch of coins that could be linked to the Glencoe massacre found under a fireplace. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to read this article. We're going to read it together. And then you're going to tell
Okay.
me what we want, the answer that I want from you, or the thing that I want from you is, okay, a coin hoard, we can understand. It's a bunch of coins that could be linked to the Glencoe massacre. I don't know what the Glencoe massacre was, and you don't know what the Glencoe massacre
Yeah.
was, okay? So what I want you to do is read this article,
Yeah.
and at the end of this article, you should be able to tell me what the Glencoe massacre was, okay? That that's an example of scanning. So we're going to scan this article, and all we want to know is what was the Glencoe massacre. A massacre is when a lot of people die. So here we go. So take your time, read quietly, look at the article,
Yeah.
and quickly try to get the information as to what the Glencoe massacre was.
I finished. Wait, what?
Okay, so what was the Glencoe massacre and what was it about? We haven't finished the article. I'm still going.
Oh. Um. No, I didn't send it to teacher.
Okay, so what was it about?
was about a massacre that involved killing a lot of people, and it's saying that a person survived and they had like coins under
Okay,
a fireplace,
okay, very good. So,
and that's what I know about it.
okay, if you asked me what was the Glencoe massacre about, okay, the facts that you stated, you said is about hiding some coins under a fireplace before a massacre where a lot of people got killed. Very good.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to know is what is the Glencoe massacre? What is the Glencoe? It's a historical event, correct? So what happened there?
Yeah.
Look at this. The site was associated with Alistair, Rude MacLeod of Glencoe, the clan chief, so the head of the tribe from 1646 to 92, who, along with his family,
Yeah.
was a victim of the massacre that followed the first Jacobite rising. So that's what you should have said. Okay.
What is a Jacobite rising?
So Jacobite rising is kind of like a revolution. It's so go further. Well, the MacLeods took part in the 16. So this guy, Alistair MacLeod, who's the guy who hid the coins, was ahead of the clan of Glencoe. He was the head of the tribe of Glencoe in Scotland. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
The MacLeods, why were they massacred? They took part in the 1689 effort, so they tried to restore Catholic James II of England and Ireland and Scotland after his deposition. So they tried to return the King James II to the throne. Okay, who took the throne away from him after his deposition? So after his throne was taken away by his Anglican daughter. So his daughter wasn't Catholic, she was Anglican, which means she was Protestant. Okay,
Huh?
and yeah, the king. So Mr. MacLeod, Alistair MacLeod, he and his family got massacred. Why? Because they tried to help King James become king again after his daughter took the crown from him with her husband, William of Orange. So you had King,
Orange.
yeah, you had King James II on this side. He was the king. And on this side,
Yeah.
and he was Catholic. And on this side, what did you have? You had his daughter, who was Protestant, who was married to William of Orange. So these
Yeah.
two groups, they fought
Yeah.
over the crown. And who won? Who won? William of Orange and Mary. So
Yeah.
William and Orange and Mary, when they won, they became the new king and queen. And who did they take the crown off?
Yeah.
They took the crown off their father, who was James II,
Catholic.
who was Catholic. It was a
Yeah.
different religion to them. Okay, the MacLeods, the guy who
Yeah.
buried all of these coins, he supported James, and he was on the losing side. And because he was on the losing side, and he refused to follow Mary and William, they killed him. And
Yeah.
that's what the Glencoe massacre is about. Okay?
Okay.
So that's what you should have said. That's what you should have said, okay? We need detail. When we're doing skimming or scanning, especially when we're doing scanning, we need detail. When we're doing skimming, we don't need detail. Okay? We just need short, sharp answers.
Yeah.
So when we're scanning, we need detail. When we're skimming, we need the general idea. Do you get it? Okay. Now let's go back to the textbook. What I want from you,
Yeah.
you've understood that point, Aisha, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, very good. What I want you to do is I want you to okay, I want you to what I'd like you to do is choose two sources, two different sources. Okay, so one is going to be a magazine. It can be a magazine, it can be a brochure, it can be a newspaper, and I want you to skim
Yeah.
3 articles. Then I want you to choose
Yeah.
one article, and I want you to scan it for information. Can you do that for me for homework for tomorrow? Yes
Wait,
or no?
which paper scan, teacher?
I'm going to send you one
Yeah,
newspaper.
what you say about?
I'm going to send you one newspaper,
Okay.
and I want you to skim at least 3 or 4 articles in that newspaper. Then I'm going to send you one article, and I want you to scan that article for specific information. Is that okay?
Okay.
Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're having a good evening. Take care,
Yeah.
and I'll see you tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah.